Good morning, friends. Steve Benoon here with Israeli News Live, and I am seeing there is really a lot of confusion going on regarding where I reported about the president invoking the Insurrection Act. And so I wanted to clarify some of this because I know that different ministries are saying no, it's not been done, and I know there's all kinds of conspiracy theories out there as to, oh, if the president invoked the Insurrection Act, that it's going to put all the pedophiles in jail and things like that. And this is totally opposite of what's been disseminated to me. And so I wanted to take a few minutes there and share with you the way this was said to me. And then keeping in mind, this is from friends of mine from Intel, different agencies that that I've known from the past and stuff that share with me that information. I could just tell you my opinions, and we could just leave it at that, and not even say what's being from this type of information. But I try to give you both sides of it, just as I always tell you when it comes to, regardless of who gets in power, the end game result is going to be the same. They're going for a new world order, a one world government, and Christianity is going to be totally suppressed. Christians are going to be killed eventually as a result of this system, that they're creating. That doesn't change anything. Not much different, even with President Trump. All right. I've made this statement before. All right. It might buy you a little more time, but you got to remember, he's for the warp speed. He's for all these draconian laws that, that are going to bring about a complete suppression of Christianity. All right. So, but let me go into let me explain to you what was said to me, though, so you understand what when I spoke about this Insurrection Act being invoked, it had nothing to do with rounding up, as they say, pedophiles or anything like that. That was dealt with on a totally different issue for me. It was human trafficking, is what I was told. There was evidence that had been found on, or they've been given to President Trump's administration on Joe Biden, included his son, included Hillary, included Obama. But that information, as it was told to me, that all they could do would be release that information and make that information public, but they still would have to have a federal judge that would be willing to actually sign warrants for arrest as a result. There's no guarantee to that. All right? There's no guarantee that a federal judge will do it. I knew that Trump had actually contacted 2 federal judges that he knows and had taken them into confidence about the information, and they're trying to see whether or not this could actually be pulled off. Supposedly the information is so strong, it's like no way you could ever deny it. But then again, look what's happening right now. Everything's being denied. The left is totally controlling the media. They're controlling everything. But what is all that? That's to create civil unrest. That's to put the two groups, Republicans and Democrats, fighting against each other, because ultimately they want you to go into basically a civil war so that you create the scenario with hatred for each other that causes the disarmament of the nation. All right, that's what that is being done for. That's why I say it's a psyop. Both sides are being played. Okay? But when it came to invoking the Insurrection Act, the way it was expressed to me is it was being done for one reason and one reason only, and that is to be able to secure the documentation where they claim the election was a fraud, and specifically the states where the election is contested by the Trump administration, by his team. So that's when I was told, yes, it gives him the power to declare martial law, which immediately concerned me. And so I asked, we're going to have martial law across the entire nation? You know, I said, this is where they'll use their warp speed and force these vaccines. And he said, no, that's not. He said from the meetings he'd been in, that's not what it would be done for. And no, they would not do it across the entire nation. But they felt like that he would have to use that power to be able to secure the states where the fraud was done in. And that it was explained to me that invoking the Insurrection Act would allow the president to secure all that documentation that's in question, whether it be the ballots, the mail-in ballots, whether it be the computers. No one would be allowed to delete information, government employees, workers at the polls, things like that. It basically, as I was told, puts a freeze on everything. It freezes everything to where now they can go in and they can conduct their investigation, something that has not been permitted by any federal judge thus far. That's what invoking the Insurrection Act was being done for and used for. That's exactly the way it was explained to me. Not some, oh, he's invoking the Insurrection Act so we can go arrest all the pedophiles. No, that was a totally different issue. All right, and even the word pedophile was not actually used in the conversations that we had. The information that was given to them was human trafficking, actually child trafficking. That was used as well, and that the evidence was very disturbing, as I was told. All right, but, and again, and let me make it clear, that information, as it was being disseminated to me, is there's not a 100% guarantee that a federal judge is going to push that forward. Look at what all these federal judges have done thus far, just over this whole fraud issue. So there again, what if they didn't do it? What if the information comes out? It still may be a play on you to say, oh my gosh, look how evil these guys are and nobody does anything about it. Well, that's what they want to happen. That's why, because they want civil unrest. They want to disarm this nation because that's part of a new world order agenda. The nation has to be disarmed, and they have to create some type of pretext to do it with. When Obama was president, his Secret Service agent told me the exact same thing back then. They were looking for a way to disarm the nation and to get the people to go against each other. Well, they figured out how to do it. The only issue is they know it's very difficult. That's what they told me back when Obama was president. It's difficult to get the people to do this. So they need something that really causes you to hate each other. All right? So, no. So I hope I made that clear. This is the only reason this was invoked. Nothing to do with the issue of arrest or pedophilia or human trafficking. Totally different issue. Okay, totally different issue. You want to say anything, Yana, on this?
Sure.
Okay, let me have Yana talk to you a little bit about this as well.
Hi friends, I just want to remind you, please, what's happening in the background, nobody talks about. Nobody is pointing to a real issue and a real problem that we have. Again, I told this to you yesterday, and I am planning on doing a very comprehensive video with the PowerPoint of proofs and material and documentation that you can see for yourself where the problem lies. The entire issue here right now is they are building up a country for world domination, and this nation must go. They cannot stand on a world stage constitutional republic where people rule. Okay? And they have to bring down this nation. The only way to do it is through divide and conquer, and they will do everything in their power to do
Yes.
that. So this country is gone. It's over. There is no more American dream. There is no more constitutional republic. And I don't care what promises either side gives you. You sitting in your living rooms and believing somebody giving you some promises, watching a black box. Listen to me. You have got to do your own research because I can't speak about this openly. Look up Oded Yinon plan. Look why Second World War even happened. Study history in Russia, Soviet Union, Eastern Europe, and learn from it because the same thing is happening here and same old techniques are being used. There is nothing new under the sun.
One thing.
If you want to know how they're gonna play this out, read one document, just one. It's long. It's been said to us the document is fraud, but it's not a fraud, it's real. And they wrote out the entire plan. Revolutions and civil wars are the tools in their toolbox. That's the tools they use. Revolution, civil war, even Napoleonic revolution. Napoleon, France, it was used there. They're using the same thing here. What's happening now here has happened before. Okay? So if you learn the true history, not the falsified history that you've been told in schools, real true history, there is a way to get it. The same techniques are being used. Basically, they're preparing, while all of this is happening and America is going down, while they're killing people with the, they are building up some little country
Yes.
for something that
Just
will
south of
surprise
Lebanon.
everybody.
Let me
Okay.
make one more point because we're
Yeah.
going to lose signal in just a
Entire
second.
tech is being transferred there for a reason. Anyway, and Trump supports all of it. All of it.
Yeah, real quick, let me just real quick share one other thing with you guys on this issue here. And that is, I talk about that Trump remaining in power will buy you, maybe it buys us a couple of more years. It doesn't mean that everything's going to go hunky-dory, all right? But you have to understand, even from the intel that I'm given on that, I'm also being told that that is only being done because China, who's ran by the little country south of Lebanon, needs more time to put their forces in place on our southern border. All right? I mean, intel, and that's very honest. That's very forthright of the intel sources that I have. If you remember back in, what was it, February or March or something like that, I was being told the president didn't have the powers he once had. That he was now just like the CEO of a dying corporation and dissolving that dying corporation. All right. So yeah, Trump was supposed to stay in power for two reasons. One, they need the war with Iran and they need him to do it. And of course, it also, China was willing to release this information because China needs more time. That's what the bottom line really is. Would I like to have that extra time too for more preparations ourselves? Sure, I welcome that, but I just don't want everybody being under an illusion that it makes something great or something as a result. Anyway, I got to run. I'm supposed to be on with John Moore. So God bless y'all. I really needed to address this real quick. And I'll also, and listen, don't beat up June Knight. We really love June, and I know she's passionate about, because she's seen a lot of things,
And she's telling a lot of truth.
and she is telling a lot of truth and stuff, And I haven't talked to June about this as of yet, and maybe it's just a little misunderstanding, not really. Maybe I didn't make it clear enough in the video that I did. All right, so I'll get in touch with June as well, and like I said, please just don't beat her up. That's she knows a lot of things. Okay, so, but anyway, God bless you, and y'all have a good one.